Hey everyone, let's dive right in because today I am going to spill the tea on a massive opportunity that is probably sitting right in your very own neighborhood. Think of this explainer as your ultimate insider cheat sheet for landing a stable, surprisingly well-paying gig. We're talking about getting hired at Kroger. So whether you're 16 and looking for your very first paycheck, maybe you're 25 and hunting for some solid benefits, or even 60 and just wanting some part-time work, I am going to give you the exact playbook to get you that iconic blue vest. But look, before we even get into the heavy-hitting secrets, I want to hook you up immediately. Right down in the description is a free download link for the Fast Track to Hired cheat sheet. It's the companion guide to everything we're about to cover, so go grab it right now. And hey, while you're down there, do me a huge favor and smash that like and subscribe button so we can keep bringing you these absolute game changers. Seriously, go click it. Got it? Awesome. Let's dive right in. To put this into perspective, we're talking about over 2,800 stores. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, wait, I don't even have a Kroger in my town, well, think again. This grocery giant is kind of hiding in plain sight under about 20 different brand names. Ralph's, Fred Meyer, King Soopers, Fry's, Smith's, it's actually all Kroger. They are literally the largest supermarket chain in the U.S. with nearly 500,000 employees, which means they are almost always hiring. So, here is our game plan for this explainer. 1. Why work at Kroger? 2. Finding your perfect role. 3. The pay and benefits. 4. Acing the application. 5. Nailing the interview. And 6. Day 1 and beyond. All right, part 1. Why work at Kroger? The hidden perks of grocery retail. Let's have some real talk for a second. When most of us think of retail, we usually think of unpredictable hours and, honestly, pretty terrible job security, right? But a huge number of Kroger stores are actually unionized through the UFCW. This is absolutely crucial because this union representation makes a Kroger job feel much closer to a corporate role than your typical hourly retail position. It means you get real collective bargaining power, guaranteed scheduled raises, and actual job protection. You can't just be fired without cause. And even as a part-timer, once you pass your qualifying period, the benefits package is incredibly real. We are talking scheduled pay increases, full health, dental, and vision insurance, and getting paid weekly, which is just amazing for your personal cash flow. Plus, you get a 10 to 15% employee discount. But hold on, you have to realize how huge this is. A pension plan, a real monthly pension payment in retirement based on employer contributions. That is practically unheard of in modern retail. Moving right along to part 2, finding your perfect role and getting your foot in the door. You know, it's like a giant puzzle. There is truly a perfect fit for everyone here. You've got the courtesy clerk, which is bagging groceries and grabbing carts out in the lot. It's usually the easiest job to land and great if you just want to stay active. Then there's the grocery clerk for those who want to lift heavy stuff and kind of avoid small talk. Produce for the early birds out there, and deli or bakery if you love food prep. And of course, the cashier. Now, if you choose this one, I promise you, you will literally have the PLU code for bananas, which is 4011, burned into your brain for the rest of your life. Okay, part 2. The pay and benefits. Show me the money. $54,080. Yep, that is the potential yearly earnings for a top-scale union cashier or grocery clerk working a standard 40-hour week. Obviously, you start at entry level, but if you stick with it, you can make over $50,000 a year just to work a register or stock shelves. And that's completely ignoring the massive added financial value of the health insurance and the pension we just talked about. So let's break down how you actually get there. If we look at the 2025 starting rates versus the top scale at a union store, a cashier might start around $14 to $16 an hour, but that top scale pushes up to $22 to $26. The absolute secret sauce here is that in union stores, your raises are automatically triggered by the hours you work. Once you hit 500 hours and then 1,000 hours, your pay just bumps up automatically. No begging the manager, no waiting around for a stressful annual performance review. It's just contractual. Now, pause. I really need you to burn this concept into your memory. Union versus non-union stores. The majority of Krogers are unionized, but some aren't. In a non-union store, you're generally looking at lower typical pay, a standard 401k instead of a guaranteed pension, and at-will employment. So when you are sitting in your interview, you absolutely must ask if the store is unionized. It completely changes your long-term financial trajectory and your job security. Part 4. Acing the application. Your step-by-step cheat code. Here is the exact pipeline you need to follow. First, go to jobs.kroger.com and hit apply. But here is the insider secret. Kroger uses an automated system. Your application goes through an AI screening before a human ever even looks at it. So for step 2, when you fill it out, you must be flexible. Think about it. Grocery stores are busiest on the weekends. If you really emphasize your weekend and evening availability, the hiring system will immediately flag you as a top candidate. Finally, step 3 is the assessment test. And no, you cannot skip it. I am literally sliding the cheat sheet across the table to you right now. When you take that situational judgment assessment, you need to answer as the absolute ideal employee. The computer system is looking for reliability, safety, and a great attitude. Do not, under any circumstances, answer that you sometimes prefer working alone or sometimes call in sick. You need to confidently check the boxes that align with their core values. You are always on time, safety is your top priority, and you absolutely love solving customer problems. So, what happens after you hit submit? Well, this timeline sets some pretty clear expectations. Once your assessment is complete, your app will be under review for about 3 to 10 days. Then, if they like what they see, you'll get a call to schedule an interview. From start to finish, the whole hiring process takes about 1 to 3 weeks total. So seriously, don't panic if you don't hear back on day 2. Just sit tight. All right, part 5, nailing the interview, the do's and the don'ts. Okay, so you've secured the interview. It'll probably be 15 to 30 minutes, usually with the store or department manager. And they are definitely going to ask, why do you want to work here? Listen to me. Kroger managers do not want to hear that you just desperately need a paycheck or that it's a super short commute. They want to hear about long-term commitment. So use the good answer. Tell them you want a stable company with good benefits where you can build a career. It shows maturity and it shows serious intent. When they inevitably ask you to tell them about a time you worked on a team or, handled a really difficult customer, use the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. Keep your answers structured and to the point. And here's an incredibly important tip for the interview itself. Dress in business casual. Guys, wear khakis and a collared shirt. Ladies, professional pants and a neat top. No jeans, no t-shirts, no sneakers. Grocery retail is highly customer-facing, and dressing well proves right off the bat that you understand professionalism. Okay, I'm going to get serious for just a second because these are the final hurdles. After you get an offer, you will face a criminal background check going back 7 to 10 years and a pre-employment urine drug test. And here is your reality check. Kroger strictly enforces a drug-free policy, and they specifically test for marijuana or THC. Even if you live in a state where it is recreationally legal, a positive test can absolutely disqualify you. Also, if you falsify literally anything on your application, you're out. Just be honest and be prepared. And finally, part 6, day 1 and beyond, the reality of the retail floor. Your very first day is going to be about 4 to 8 hours of orientation. You'll be doing paperwork, watching safety videos, and finally getting that iconic blue vest in your name tag. Now, if you're in a union store, you'll set up your union dues, which run about $8 to $15 a week, which is totally worth it for the benefits you get. But here's the really fun part. The reality of the floor is a chaotic mix. You're going to deal with some incredibly demanding customers, including extreme couponers carrying literal binders of paper. And I promise you, your body will ache from the physical labor for the first 2 weeks before you adapt. It's tough at first, for sure, but you'll get the hang of it. And if you stick it out, the future is incredibly bright. Kroger religiously promotes from within. You can start as a courtesy clerk just bagging groceries, move up to a department clerk in a year or 2, step up to a department manager in 4 to 7 years, and in 7 to 10 years, you could be a store manager. And store managers at high-volume Krogers are easily making 6 figures, $100,000 to $120,000 plus. You can literally turn an entry-level bagging gig into a massive, lucrative career. So, I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought. Are you ready for the blue vest? You now have all the insider secrets. You know the exact answers they're looking for, and you fully understand the massive financial benefits waiting behind those automatic sliding doors. Is it a glamorous job? No. But is it a remarkably stable, well-paying career path with incredible benefits? Absolutely. So go hit that Kroger Jobs portal right now and go get that vest.